Also, what I would like to do is add a bonus round. There's tartan, the longer one, is an 11-ounce polyviscose tartan swatch from Le Caron. And then the one next to it is the one you've already seen, 13-ounce wool tartan swatch from Strathmore. And then I have my polyviscose kilt that I'll show also, and hopefully the sun's still out. And unfortunately not on me, because as I said before, this doesn't fit me anymore. 35-inch waist around the belly button, 42.5-inch around the widest part of the rear end, and I'm not that size anymore. But we get to see what it looks like. Okay, let's get started. And this is the tag that USA Kilts has on their kilt. Tells you to machine wash cold, no fabric softener, lay flat to dry. And these are the leather straps, nicely stitched on. And this is what the leather straps look like up close. No embossed detail on there, no pictures, just a plain leather strap. And look at these. Oh, that's a fire ant. Whew, I have to get rid of that. Jeez, get out of here. Get out of here. Welcome to the channel. I'm Hudson, Kilt Advocate. I'm from USA and 21 years in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. And about 6 years in Oahu, Hawaii during my military time. And about 9 years in Tampa, Florida. Part of it during my military time. And now I'm in the Philippines for about 3 years. Today, I'm going to be doing a show and tell of some 13-ounce wool tartan swatches for some of United States military branches. I will show what they look like in the shade, and then I will show what they look like out in the sun. So let's get started. First up is going to be the United States Army swatch. And while I'm in the shade outside my door, I'll go over what each color means. You know, I love to do it out in the sun, but it's hot, and I don't think the camera can handle that. So this is the United States Army swatch, 13-ounce wool, purchased from USA Kilts and from the Strathmore mill. As you can see right there, STR would mean Strathmore. One of the options from the other mills of Martin Mills, House of Edgar, Le Caron, if I'm correct. U.S. Army tartan swatch. And let's go over the colors and their meaning now. Black. Black represents the beret, a modern symbol of unity and professionalism. And let's go to the khaki. Khaki represents the classic summer service uniform. Okay, let's go to the light green. Should be this. Light green honors the original sniper uniform and serves as an accent in summer dress. Dark blue. Dark blue. Where is that? Guessing right here. Dark blue connects the Army's original dress uniform. Olive. I guess that would be this square right here in the borders. Olive recognizes the standard issue combat uniform worn globally. And next would be gold. Oh, that's interesting. What's the difference between khaki and gold? Oh, this is gold. I was thinking that's yellow. All right. So gold. Gold pays homage to the proud heritage of the cavalry. Cool. And actually, visually, with my own eyes, these both look yellow, but on the screen, this horizontal line looks more golden, while the vertical line looks yellow. So those are color representation. Moving on to the next. This right here is the United States Air Force tartan. And I set these up the way that they're going to be set up because, from my knowledge, the United States Air Force was a part of the U.S. Army, just like the United States Marine Corps was a part of the United States Navy. Okay. So, Air Force tartan swatch. Same, from USA Kilts, purchased from the Strathmore Mill. And I guess before I miss it, let's go over the feeling. They both feel slightly rough. Yeah, slightly rough, yet at the same time a little comforting. Yeah, definitely not a soft feel plush. This is like a rough feeling. Okay. Top to bottom. Let's go over the colors now. Okay, so the colors are going to be blue, gray, gold, and red. Starting with blue. But there's two different types of blue though. Interesting. Let's just go with it. Blue represents the wild blue yonder, and the skies and the branch commands. Okay. Silver gray. Where is that? Where is the silver gray? Huh. It's like a mystery. Where's Waldo? Where is the silver gray? Is this it? I'll just say that this is silver gray for now. This right here. Because I can't find it. But reflects the stainless steel of modern aircraft. Be silver gray. Next, gold. Easy to find. Gold symbolizes the sweeping grassy plains. What? That's interesting. And red represents the radiant sun. I've got to look this up because I found it on the internet. This kind of doesn't make sense. Let me be back real quick. Okay, we're back. I'm a little disappointed because the colors that I looked up for what I had mentioned before seems like it's for the United States Air Force Academy tartan. And I looked on the Scottish Registry of Tartans at tartanregistry.gov.uk, and I looked at a few other official websites, and I just can't find the color meaning of this because they're saying that it's white in here, but I don't see any white. So we're just going to move right along, and if anyone can find a link of what the Air Force colors for the United States tartan, United States Air Force tartan mean, then please let me know, let us know in the comments, because I'm drawing a blank here. Nice tartan though. Moving along. Next, the United States Navy tartan. This one really pops. I like it. It's pretty cool. Alright, same as the rest. Purchased from USA Kilts from the Strathmore Mill, 13-ounce wool, tartan swatch. Let's go over the colors now. So, dark blue represents the United States Navy. Light blue symbolizes the United States Air Force. Red acknowledges the U.S. Marine Corps and the U.S. Army. And white represents the ocean waves. This tartan was designed to commemorate inter-service cooperation and the relationship between United States forces and local Scottish communities. Created at the Navy Etzel base, located in Scotland. Isn't that interesting? Also interesting is how this tartan represents like different armed forces branches. Next on the list, the United States Marine Corps tartan, which may be listed as also the leatherneck tartan or the Marine Corps tartan. I happen to own a polyviscose kilt in this, which I can no longer wear because I don't fit the weight measurements of 35 inches around the belly button, 42.5 inches around the widest part of the rear end, 24-inch drop. Right now I'm like 41 inches around the belly button, 48 inches around the widest part of the rear end. So I'm gonna need some time. This tartan is the same as the rest. Purchased from USA Kilts, 13-ounce wool swatch from Strathmore Mill. Let's go over the color meanings. Red and yellow reflect the colors of the Marine Corps battle flag. Green commemorates the herringbone utility uniform worn during iconic World War II island hopping campaigns. Blue symbolizes the branch's historic legacy as warriors from the sea and their close partnership with the U.S. Navy. Pretty cool. And what I like on both of these tartans is that dot in the middle, that center. It pops. This right here, like, glows. The square right in the middle of that intersection. It's pretty nice. Last tartan to show and tell is going to be United States Coast Guard. This one is loud. And from the same as the rest, purchased from USA Kilts, 13-ounce wool from Strathmore Mill. This is the type of tartan that Um, I think that it's pretty cool, but you have to be like a part of it to really love it, right? And if I was a part of the Coast Guard, I'd have pride in this tartan, right? But I can't say that it is a tartan that's like really pleasing to the eyes. But I sure do respect it. I can say that. And looking at it a little bit closely, I think the phrase to use is, it's growing on me. Okay, now let's take a look at what the colors mean. Okay, so U.S. Coast Guard tartan, inspired by the ancestral family tartan of Alexander Hamilton, the founder of the Coast Guard's predecessor, the Revenue Cutters. The design includes Coast Guard blue. Okay, let's go into the blue. Symbolizes the sweeping seas and skies where Coast Guard members carry out their rescue and protection missions. Next, red. Two different shades of red. That's bright, and then that's a darker up there. Represents the unwavering courage and sacrifice of service members and their families in war and peace. Okay. White. Here's that white at the intersection that really pops, and then the white along, and then the white vertical. White features exactly 10 threads to represent the original 10 commission revenue cutters authorized by Hamilton in 1790. So basically the 10 ships. It's pretty cool. I wonder if the internet has some pictures of what they look like. I'm not going to try and count the threads, but if you can, and if you're willing, let's see if there's 10 there. Okay, we're outside. We're going to get a good look. The sun's not completely out, but at least we're outside. Maybe the colors will pop more. This is the United States Army tartan swatch. And we'll just go slow on each one just so you can see, just in case you're interested. We're going to buy one yourself, and a 5-ounce, and an 8-ounce, and a polyviscose. You can get a feel for what you're going to get. And again, this is 13-ounce wool, and this is what that would look like. Next, the United States Air Force tartan swatch, 13-ounce wool. And out of all these tartans, what I really like is that small box in the intersection, as I call it. This one doesn't pop as much as the others, but I think it's pretty cool. What is also cool is this casino watch that I have. Check that out. I bought this off of Shopee PH, which I call the Southeast Asia Amazon. And it's pretty fun, all right? I think I took a few gambles and risks in life, and this watch kind of shows it. Moving back to the tartans, there's the Army tartan with that center section of the intersection that kind of pops. Alright, moving to the next. Alright, we're looking at the United States Navy Edsel Tartan swatch. Not really directly in the sun, but it's enough outside light to do it a bit of justice. Center in on that center point. And the sun's coming out a little bit. Okay. And this is what I like to see. The tartans can look completely different in the shade and the sun. And sometimes when you see photos online, you don't really get a true feel for what the tartan looks like. So it's nice when you can see it in the sun. Alright, moving right along. This is the United States Marine Corps Tartan swatch, 13 ounce. Very pleasant colors. It almost gives a hint. It gives a hint of another tartan called the Black Watch. Ah, the sun went away, and you could probably see that color switch. So now it's a little more dull. But that's so cool. Tartan can look one way inside and another way outside, depending on if you're in the shade or the sun. And also, can't forget the way a tartan will look on the back with the pleats. If you get it pleated to the set, pleated to the stripe, what color you're pleating the stripe to, it's a whole new world dealing with kilts and tartans. Okay, moving to the next. Okay, we have United States Coast Guard 13 ounce wool tartan swatch. And outside in the light, I want to say that it's getting easier on the eyes. What's your opinion? And since the sun's out just a little bit more, I want to go over the Army and Air Force tartans again, because I don't believe they got some pure sunlight. A nice, very nice. And switch over to the Air Force tartan while the sun's still out. Utilize this time. Yeah, they're all pleasant in their own way. Also, what I would like to do is add a bonus round. There's tartan, the longer one, is an 11 ounce polyviscose tartan swatch from Le Caron. And then the one next to it is the one you've already seen, 13 ounce wool tartan swatch from Strathmore. And then I have my polyviscose kilt. that I'll show also, and hopefully the sun's still out. And unfortunately not on me, because as I said before, this doesn't fit me anymore. 35-inch waist around the belly button, 42.5-inch around the widest part of the rear end, and I'm not that size anymore. But we get to see what it looks like. Okay, let's get started. So up close, first will be the United States Marine Corps Tartan Swatch 11 ounce from LeCarron, ordered from USA Kilts almost 10 years ago. And the color scheme is a little bit brighter than this one on the right. If I had a preference, I would want this one. This one meaning the one from Strathmore. And so that's one of the things to think about when buying a kilt, is asking the question, which mill does it come from? Because each one could give you something different and have a different variation. Isn't that interesting? And we're not even done yet, because we're going to see what this looks like in the sun. And as before, this one right here, which we'll do quickly because we've already seen it before. Okay, the sun is, we're not in the same spot, but the sun is, at least the sun's out. It's a good enough view of what it will look like in the sun. For this Tartan Swatch 11 ounce from LeCarron. Okay. And let's see how that glow looks from the center square. And let's rotate over to the other tartan, which is wool from Strathmore, 13 ounce, which is struggling with some shade and sun. Let's see. Okay. Just for a comparison, that's what that looks like. 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 Does it show up on video, the difference? This one is brighter. This one is more laid back, more chill, more reserved, darker, muted. One of those words. Okay. All right. So please, it's tilted. Please forgive me and forgive the kilt, because I have not ironed it. This has been folded up for years. And so the front looks kind of wrinkled, and then the back looks a lot wrinkled. A lot of the pleats are out of place. But what's important is we get to see what is this? What I think this is a 12 ounce polyviscose. I'm not sure on the ounces, but I know for sure it's a polyviscose from USA Kilts, which is basically polyurea. And this is what I mean by the pleats being a little messed up. They just need a little ironing. That's all. And this one is pleated to the stripe. So I'm just imagine the stripes on an 8-yard kilt pleated to the stripe. It'll be all stripy all the way through. You won't even be able to see any grain. But we're going to get closer, and definitely in the sunlight. And this is okay, right? Like, I would wear this, but something in me wants to have this kilt pleated to the set, so that means the front and the back would look like this. Less busy, but as a military tartan, pleated to the stripe is by the rules how it should be. But we're not in the military anymore. We're just like civilians doing our own thing. So since this isn't a uniform, you can pleat it however you want. All right. So the sun, I'm struggling with the sun. All right. So my struggle with the sun right now is real. I'm trying to have a full sun on the kilt, but it's not happening. So at least this is better than nothing, and it gives you a view of what the kilt looks like, with some sunlight on it. So this is the DJI equipment that I'm using, zoomed in, so you can see exactly what's going on with the colors. Ooh-wee, my arm's getting tired. And let's do the back. And this is a view from, well, of the pleats. Some sunlight. And we will zoom in a little bit more. And zoomed in, as far as the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 can go, this is what it'll look like as far as colors. Alright, so what I'm going to do is put it on the ground and try and give you an overview of what the inside looks like, and go from there. I'm an amateur, but I can show and tell. And if I can't tell, at least I can show. On the ground, this isn't anything that you have not seen before. And again, this is 35 inches across the belly button, 42.5 around the widest part of the rear end. See if I can wipe this wrinkles. No, a little bit. And 24-inch drop. Let's open it up. After we get a good look at the back. Okay, so it looks a little better. Outside, laid flat. I tried to smooth out the pleats with my hands, but honestly, what it needs is an iron. And as soon as I match the weight to wear it again, that's what I will do. Definitely will not wear it out like this. Let's get up close on the buckles. The buckles? Yeah, the buckles. And then the belt straps over here, which looks to be a leather. And this is the USA Kilts semi-traditional version, polyviscose kilt. It's wonderful. I like the way that they put it together. Now, I am an amateur. I have not owned an 8-ounce, an 8-ounce, 8-yard. I have not owned an 8-yard kilt. But the quality that they put into this semi-traditional polyviscose is wonderful, in my opinion. In my opinion, of course. Even amateur eyes can see. Just look at these right here are the belt loops that you can fit a belt through, or the sporin chain or sporin strap. And they are perfectly lined up with the kilt. You pull it out, perfectly lined up to the center of that. That's what I'm talking about. And that is pretty cool. Look, Check that out. Lined up perfectly. Lined up perfectly. Whew. Jeez. Let's open this up. Okay. So this is the kilt opened up. And this is what the inside looks like. This is the leather belt strap that's still hooked on. And this is the tag that USA Kilts has on their kilt. Tells you it's a machine wash cold. No fabric softener, lay flat to dry. And these are the leather straps. Nicely stitched on. And this is what the leather straps look like up close. No embossed detail on there, no pictures, just a plain leather strap. And look at these. Oh, that's a fire ant. Whew, I have to get rid of that. Jeez, get out of here. Get out of here. All right, this is the last part that I am going to record, and this is it all spread out so that you can see what it looks like all across in the sun. And then I'll get down on this side slowly so that you can see the threads and work my way back up and across, going down so you can see how the pleats are laid, and coming up, back up, and coming back down, and lastly going back up. And you can see the stitching of the leather belt strap from the other side. And that is it, and that is all. And just like that, you saw some tartan swatches. You saw my polyviscose kilt out in the sun. You saw the swatches in the shade and the sun, the kilt in the shade and the sun, and opened up a little bit. The only drawback is that I'm not a true expert, and the only other drawback is that I don't have it on me with a scoring. So, something's better than nothing. And also to end, city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Philadelphia is where I'm from. Philadelphia, from the Greek words philos and adelphos. Philos meaning brotherly, and adelphos meaning brother, specifically meaning blood, family, same faith, same beliefs, same spiritual nature, something like that. Same kin, same vibe. Brotherly love. Founded by or named by William Penn. A little history lesson because I'm from Philadelphia. City of brotherly love. Which is interesting because it's not really a city of brotherly love overall. But it kind of like, it transitions to kilts. Kilts represent different people, places, and things. But it doesn't really doesn't really have the same good vibe by everybody. For example, people are confused, like, why are you wearing that? Because it's a skirted garment. So sometimes you have to find out information by yourself. And I recommend that you find out information on clan.com, formerly Scott Webb, where you can go in the search bar, type in tartans and kilts, and then it will pull up products, help section, blog section, blog. And you can look up different topics to read so that you can be more aware of the actual information to build the confidence to wear the kilt. It tells you what's a 5-yard kilt, what's an 8-yard kilt, the history of Scottish tartans and how they changed through the years. Universal tartans you can wear, which it says you can wear any tartan as long as you like it and wear respectfully. But from experience, I must say that There's some restricted tartans and there's some other tartans that have some history behind it that you might get some backlash from people. Like the Black Watch is universal tartan, but it's also a military tartan worn during certain wars that people might have a problem with. Anyone have an experience with that? So, did I get bitten? You look on that website, clan.com, formerly Scott Webb, and you can get, hello, you can get more informed. Also, whenever people say like, oh, it's a skirted garment, I go back to hello, bye for now. Good afternoon, ma'ayang kapon. I go back to the Bible story, David and Goliath. What was David wearing when he threw the rock through the air at Goliath and hit the giant? Was he wearing jeans and a baseball cap? No, he wasn't wearing jeans and a baseball cap. He was wearing a tunic. And so a lot of people in history were wearing skirted garments. All right? It's just this new thing where like only men are supposed to wear pants. And it's interesting in America because for a time it was prohibited for women to wear pants. But that's what they wear now, as loose or tight as they want. So as soon as you know the history, you can wear clothes with confidence and you can have comebacks. That's all I have for now. Thanks for watching. It's been a pleasure. Bye for